Look at this, 29%. NBC News, you want to go lower than that? How about 27%? Both are record lows.
What is it they want to be seeing?
What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. They don't like what's coming out of some of those Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer.
There's nothing wrong with trying to find another leader after the devastating results of the past election.
Thank you for joining us here on the Doug TenNapel channel. We're checking out Democrats versus Republicans. We've been monitoring the Democrat just decline. Culturally, they're becoming extremely unpopular. Like their popularity ranks just above liver cancer. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. This is where all my happy patriots hang. We're in celebration of this, but these are some of the facts. There's actual numbers coming up, including who could be the next presidential run for the Democrats. It's important that I actually believe the Democrat Party is going to completely die. I think it's just going to fizzle out. If there are two parties to run in 2028, it's entirely possible that we have the MAGA movement and then some other right-wing movement to compete against them because the Democrats will be so bad. That's both a fear of mine and a kind of a prediction of what could happen. Let's watch the numbers over at CNN.
They are all, I have to say, Democrats, call your office. You know, we're March Madness time. Terrible, terrible, terrible. To quote the great Charles Barkley, view Democratic Party favorably. CNN SRS, look at this, 29%. NBC News, you want to go lower than that? How about 27%? Both are record lows, the lowest going back to 1992 in CNN polling, the lowest going back on record to 1990 in NBC News polling. The majority of Americans hold an unfavorable or negative view of the Democratic Party at this point. All I can say is I'm a big fan of the oldies, so I'm going to quote Chubby Checker. How low can you go?
Very good on that music, because I'm going to call out some of those stats there. Here, I'll put them up on screen. Look, that's CNN. 29% of the people like the Democrat Party, see it as favorable. But you know what? This is also about CNN itself. And NBC News on the right there, 27% like the Democrat Party. Well, NBC is the Democrat Party. So it also reflects poorly on the very networks pushing these polls. And so now if you're CNN and NBC and you're trying to make news, you're trying to make money, you're trying to have influence. You're Democrat, and you're still doing the talking points of the Democrat Party. Only 30% of the people even like you. So they're going to have to distance themselves from the Democrat Party if CNN and NBC, who try to form our opinions, are going to ever have a chance of having influence. Otherwise, not only is the Democrat Party going to die, but CNN and NBC are going to go down with them. The Democrat brand is cancer. It's the Titanic. All the rats are jumping off the ship. Hollywood's going to say it is no longer popular to be in this proven immoral, satanic Marxist party.
Nice. Well done. With that, what about congressional Democrats specifically?
Yeah, what about congressional Democrats specifically? You think these numbers are low? How about this one? Holy Toledo. Voters' views of the Democrats in Congress among all voters disapprove, 68%. And look at the approved number, just 21%.
Now, I just want you to think about the Democrats that are approving. I just wanted to get to that approved number. So this is after Chuck Schumer agreed with Trump. 21% of all voters are for the Democrat Party. Now, but think about that. That's the 21% of the most lunatic, most hardcore, blind leftists that are going to be left behind in the tar pits. The other animals found their way out of the tar pits. These 20% are like the giant mastodon stuck in the tar pit, and they're about to go extinct.
Even lower than the Democratic Party at large. This is the lowest on record for Democrats, according to Quinnipiac University polling. You think these numbers are bad? Let's go to this side of the screen. We'll look how Democratic voters feel. Get this. The plurality of Democratic voters disapprove of Democrats in Congress at 49%, and just 40% approve. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
49% of Democrats. Do you know what happened? Media radicalized the Democrat Party, made them insane. They made them into a religion, pro-environmentalist religion, pro-transing the kids, pro-open borders, and then they lose an election. And now the Democrat Party is going to try and get back up on its feet and become a populist pro-worker party, regardless of race, sex, and gender. That is, they're going to be the party of the white working class, the Rust Belt, the guy on the assembly line, they're going to hate their own party. They divided their own party. Meanwhile, the Republican Party, we just kind of exist. I don't think the Republican Party even stood for much other than end the madness. Because, guys, it's not crazy to say, don't trans the kids. That's not crazy. It's not crazy to say, how about we have a border wall when 11 to 20 million people have walked in and are taking all our benefits? That became a radical agenda, just saying we should have a border. How about we stop inflation? That's a radical position suddenly that the Republican Party is simply the common sense normal party. And the Democrats have two sides of a radical party, and neither of them are going to get a majority again. Let's let them finish up here.
Oh, my goodness gracious, you just can't get worse than these numbers.
And this is the number right here really driving all of this. If Democratic voters have turned on Democrats in Congress and the Democratic Party, that's what puts the numbers at historic lows. What is it they want to be seeing, these voters?
What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. They don't like what's coming out of some of those Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer, because take a look at the direction of the party. Democratic voters on Democrats in Congress doing too little to oppose Donald Trump. Look at this, 77% should stay principled, even if it means nothing gets done in Washington, D.C., 65%. And this.
So that's most of the Democrats were probably for the shutdown and against Chuck Schumer voting along with Trump. They were for the shutdown.
5% is such a difference from where we were in 2017 at this point, when just 33% of Democrats say they should stay principled, compared to 59% who said they want to compromise. Democrats do not want compromise at this point. They want a fighter. They want to go into the ring like Muhammad Ali did against Sonny Liston. They want to take down the Republicans. They do not want this compromise anymore. They want to be more like Republicans, can get up to that stage and fight. And right now they feel like their leaders in Congress are simply not doing so. And that is why their approval rating for congressional Democrats is at an all-time low, even among Democrats with more disapproving than approving.
Yeah, it seems that these Senate Democrats, some of them are banking on the idea that there is still a political middle, as it were. We will see. We will see.
Well, we will see if there's a political middle, but at this point, count me skeptical that is at least what the Democratic base wants at this point. It's going to be very interesting, John, to see moving forward.
It's basically the Democrats are split in a way that the Republican Party was formerly split. You have kind of the economic Republicans and the neocons and the atheistic Republican, and then you have the social conservatives, anti-gay marriage, anti-abortion. And that was what was dividing the Republican Party. And then Trump came in and united it, now arguably united it in compromise to our principles, but he did unite it. And now the Democrat Party remains united and remains divided, and they want to fight. They want to fight even if they lose, because like I said, it is pretty much a religious institution. Now, who's running for president? Because this ends up telling you a little more about those numbers. Here's from the NRCC. This is on the presidential candidates. Watch the spread on this, how unpopular their candidates are. AOC is leading the pack right now with 10% for the next president.
Issues. So you ask yourself, who is going to be the standard bearer for Democrats going forward? There's nothing wrong with trying to find another leader after the devastating results of the past election. But I was stunned to see 30% overall don't have anybody, but 10% say AOC represents the values of today's Democratic Party.
Yeah, then you have 9% for Kamala Harris, 8% for Bernie Sanders. You got 6%, he wanted to oppose funding the government, Hakeem Jeffries. 4%, he's in the past, Obama. And then 4% for Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett, okay, those are radicals. Now, all this really, when you have a spread like this, AOC 10, Kamala Harris has 9%. You can call that 10%. Bernie Sanders 10%, Hakeem Jeffries. No one is significant. No one is sticking out as a leader. And even AOC getting 10% is not significant. If someone was pulling 30% or 30% ahead of the rest, then I'd start to say, oh, that person has leadership. These are just kind of I don't think Democrats are sold on any of them. And none of these have significantly differentiated themselves from the pack. This is about Democrats. All of their brand are equally disgusting, even to Democrats. They can't put handles on anyone and find someone to get behind because they're lost. So that's what we're documenting today. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think AOC has a shot at the presidency and she's only getting 10% in 2028? Thanks for watching, guys. The Doug TenNapel channel. We're all in exile, and all the happy patriots, we're having a special happy day that the Democrats are doing so bad. Have a great one.